Man, I'm not used to standing on a platform, but this has got to be for BB. I feel like the Jolly Green Giant up here. But good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for taking the time on this cold, brisk evening to join us, and thank you for your continued support of the Reston Community Center and being the strength of our community. At RCC, our work is guided by the voices, the ideas, and the experiences of the people that we serve. And this is an annual event where the public comes out every year and you tell us your wants, your need, your anxieties, what you like and what you'd love to see us do. And we kind of throw that into a barrel and mix it up and talk about it and discuss it and rationalize it. And then we come back to you next month and kind of give you some feedback on what we heard and what we think the direction is going to be going forward. So tonight is an opportunity not only to share some important updates, but also to listen, to learn, and continue shaping what the future of RCC is going to look like. We've got some really, really critical things that we'll get into a little bit, decision points that are going to come up in the next 4 or 5 years that we're going to start to throw out there to the community. So we've got a full and exciting agenda. I won't take a whole lot of your time, but we're going to highlight the incredible work of our staff, the board, our community partners. So good to see so many of them here tonight, along with the opportunities for you, the public, and our partners to share your perspectives. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to Bill Penniman, who's the Vice Chair of our Community Relations Committee.
I'm pleased to say I did not trip on that. So I just want to sort of follow up on Bill. Obviously, the Reston Community Center values the input from the feedback from members of the community that we serve and are honored to serve. It's an essential part of our ensuring our programs meet the community's needs and expectations. Your insights do guide us, they help us, and to grow, improve, and expand our services. So we are honored to have you here today, and we look forward to getting your input. Thank you. Oh, and Lisa Earhart will be next.
I tell you, after falling, hold on tightly here. Well, welcome everyone coming tonight. I appreciate you coming out, like everyone said, on this cold, cold night. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Seacrest Earhart. I came to Reston a long, long time ago. The community center didn't even exist. And it was considered, it would say Reston and Hunters Woods. They separated it out. So, but I love this community. I've been serving on board for several years, and it's really a nice community center. It's a productive community center, and I really appreciate you coming out. The whole team appreciates you coming out here tonight, where we can hear your ideas, and we do incorporate those ideas into what we do in so much of our programming. I'm the program policy committee chair, and we do a lot of work behind the scenes that often people don't see, but one of the things that continues to be a highlight is that the RCC team continues to raise the bar. We're continually finding creative ways, mainly to address wait lists. If any of you've tried to take programs, there's always a wait list of so many things that we offer, so we really address that and try to find ways to expand out into the community. We brought in access to our programs, and we welcome more and more community members into our program. So we try to make it so we reach out there in the community and bring people in and out and all over Reston. Alongside our foundation of really providing good programs, we build upon the outstanding programs that are already here in the community, and we try and introduce new ones as new ideas come on board. One of the things that our team has really focused on, and we see happening all the time, they bring fresh energy to move forward. It's not the same old repeated thing week after week and year after year. So they're always striving to make the programs better. So there's a lot of fresh energy, lots of new ideas and exciting programs that will be happening in this year and the years to come. So we want your input, and thank you for coming out tonight. And I think I turn it over to our Executive Director, Bibi.
Well, welcome everybody. Good evening. Everybody keeping warm? Well, I want to thank the RCC board for your leadership and your support, your continued dedication to the community. I really appreciate it, and I want to also acknowledge my staff who are here tonight. So if you're an RCC management team, please stand up so the community can see who you are. Thank you. And I see a lot of familiar faces with our strategic partners, so thank you also for coming out and to listen to some of the data that we'll be sharing, exciting data that we'll be sharing with you tonight. So on the next slide. Oop, I'm the clicker tonight, I'm sorry. Is it just going this way? Okay, so before I start with that, I want to share a very short 3-minute clip of a year in review in 2025 to show you sort of visually what we achieved in 2025. So with that, please start the clip. "2025 was a year of connection, change, and renewed momentum at Reston Community Center. After more than 4 decades of service, longtime Executive Director Lila Gordon retired, leaving behind a legacy rooted in community, creativity, and care. In her honor, RCC renamed its theater, reflecting the lasting impact of her leadership. As one chapter closed, another began. Following a nationwide search, I, Bibi Nguyen, stepped into the role of Executive Director, ensuring continuity while bringing fresh energy into RCC's next era. Behind the scenes, RCC prepared for a national reaccreditation. Staff and board members reviewed policies and practices agency-wide, reinforcing a commitment to accountability, excellence, and public trust. Major facility upgrades created safer, more welcoming environments, from elevator replacement and HVAC repairs to updated office furnishings and enhanced gallery systems. A landmark energy improvement project is already reducing consumption by nearly 40%. Across Reston, people came together in powerful ways. More than 5,000 residents and visitors celebrated culture, diversity, and belonging at the Reston Multicultural Festival. RCC expanded access by meeting people where they are, in neighborhoods, shared community spaces, and the Terry L. Smith Aquatic Center. Programs grew more inclusive through language access services, neighborhood-based enrichment, and equity-focused partnerships. Unforgettable, a new memory care arts program, winner of the VRPS DEI New Program Award, helps vulnerable community members living with Alzheimer's and dementia to find connection, expression, and joy. Beyond RCC walls, community reach continued to grow. RCC on Wheels debuted, bringing programs directly into neighborhoods across Reston. The summer concerts and entertainment series drew record crowds with more than 14,000 people attending. That presence extended through storytelling, outreach, and media to help people discover, participate, and connect. Together, these moments tell the story of a year defined by purpose, honoring the past, strengthening the present, preparing for the future. Reston Community Center, enriching lives, building community. I love those clips. The pictures always makes me so happy. But it brings a lot of joy to kind of review what we've done in 2025, but it didn't come without challenges. And of course, there's notable achievements, but there were some challenges as well. I want to also really thank my team, because I think in 2025, we really leaned in and made some amazing culture changes. We elevated the amount of staff engagement from all levels. I think from every level of the organization, I've seen a very palpable change in the way that people are speaking out about changes or ways to improve their processes. So thank you for that, and thank you to my team for leaning into all the changes that I've been seeing in the last year. In addition to that, RCC's leadership have championed a data-driven culture. We've encouraged the use of metrics and evaluation to inform decision-making and improve outcomes. And I think from all of those initiatives that we undertook, we were able to really stabilize the teams and deal with a higher rate of turnover and onboarding of really long-time employees who's been with RCC for a long time, as well as welcoming those newer staff onto our workforce. So there is one new member that I want to introduce to the community tonight, Rebecca Campana. We said goodbye to our longtime arts education director, Sherry Danaher, and welcome Rebecca, and she's been amazing. So welcome Becca to RCC. One really notable achievement that I want to emphasize and really thank and call out our accreditation specialist, Brian Gannon, who led the efforts with a all hands on deck. And in October of last year, we were formally re-accredited for the next 5 years through CAPRA. So that's the picture of our team who represented RCC at the recognition ceremony in Orlando. Back in October. So thank you for that. Other highlights include the VRPS New DEI Initiative Award that we mentioned in the video. Around the center, one of our biggest communications tool, the media team submitted the award and won the first place in digital e-newsletter with the Blue Pencil and Gold Screen Awards. We also launched the 100 Woods initiative, along with a lot of our community partners in this room right here. And internally, we streamline a lot of processes and upgrade a lot of systems. Chris Higgins, our NTA, our one-person shop, has done a phenomenal job with new phone systems, with new pay track system that's integrated into the VSI WebTrack online registration system. We implemented a lot of back-end with ePact in order to implement it in 2026, and that has already been implemented with the trips, and then there's going to be a much bigger rollout for summer camp this year. So we're very thankful for his efforts in integrating all of those system upgrades. On the program front, we took delivery. We had a rental van that we piloted to take programs into the neighborhoods, and the actual vehicle itself was delivered to us this year, and our staff was be able to train on the actual vehicle, and we took delivery of that in October and got a new vehicle wrap, and we debuted that at the holiday parade. New programs in 2025 that was launched as a result of this meeting last year include water at yoga, morning fitness classes over at Lake Ann. Our teen and youth launched the Reston Roadsters, during the summer camp, and a whole, when you thumb through our program guide, take notice of anything that has the word new next to it, because it's been such a joyful for me to flip through and see so many new programs that are coming online in our program guide. Aquatics also launched their land-based wellness program. They're into their, I think, their third month, and the number of participation has been going up, and very proud of that. And on top of these new programs, we are revamping and reintroducing a lot of signature programs that were either sort of on hiatus since COVID, and renamed them to give a much fresher outlook and fresher perspective, and it has really drawn a new audience. The what we used to call, I think, the father-daughter dance is now called ball gowns and bow ties, and that was last weekend. And I know just from the pictures and the videos that we've seen, it is such an incredible turnout, and I commend my Leisure and Learning team for reimagining that program, and really make it such a successful and a new addition to the slate of programs that we have. On top of that, the other programs that has been seeing a lot of revamping include the holiday socials. The Thanksgiving food drive was also revamped. Women Only Swim is undergoing a reimagining with a lot of new ideas coming directly from our Reston Opportunity Neighborhoods ambassadors who have given us such valuable input. And then the TLS, the Terry L. Smith shower programs, has also seen a revamp of, we have now started piloting, including hygiene kits to the patrons who use our shower programs, and that has been very well received. As well as bigger programs that we partner with, such as Courtney, who's from the Chamber tonight, on Ethics Day. RCC has played a much bigger role in some of those signature programs that has been around for a while, but have kind of like taking RCC has taken a bigger role in how to be involved and making sure that it's the best that it could be. Next, I'm going to go into participation trends, and we're very proud of the strategic goal of really strengthening our partnerships. And each year we report back to the community the number of partners that we have. And in 2025, we had 43 community partners that we work with to deliver programs. In arts and cultures, these are numbers. They're very, very good numbers. We break them down in terms of the attendees at the center stage or the Lila Gordon Theater. We break them down into the number of attendees that comes to enjoy the free films and the community arts rental performances that we host at the Lila Gordon Theater. Arts education enrolled record number, and the wait list is just as long for our arts education programs. And Young Actors Theater, which is one of our most popular programs that have generations of Restonians who has gone through Young Actors Theater. We're very proud of that. Aquatics has record number, and we saw an increase in 2025 because in 2024 we took a dip in aquatics due to the elevator replacement and some of the bigger capital projects that necessitated the closure of the pool in order to get those projects done. So we saw like a larger jump this year in aquatics. Continuing participation trends in leisure and learning. Leisure and Learning introduced 48 new programs, some of which I mentioned about earlier. They implemented a much more robust strategy to address all the wait list, adding new sessions to some of the popular trips that has, if we can accommodate 50 people, there's like 150 people on the wait list, which is not good because it just tells us how much in demand those programs are. So Kevin and his team has found very creative ways to work with our vendors and transportation, all the logistical back in the background in order to accommodate all the extended wait list that we have. Youth and team, if you look at their team, they, especially through the summer camp, it's been a very exciting couple of summer camp programs. The guides that has just come out include so many of very groundbreaking and trend-setting camps that I'm so happy to see, including things such as automotive maintenance, barber and beauty offerings, taco food truck, cooking, some things that you see that the kids are very, very interested in when they see those kind of like, I don't know, every time I see them, I think of all those TikTok reels that, those kids watch, and so we try to make sure that we make it just as interesting, as fun as we can. In offsite collaboration, very impressive numbers, record-breaking attendees at all of the concerts and special events. The expansion of Multicultural Festival into the pavilion just makes it such an ideal venue for that event. And I'm looking forward to this year when we really, have our 1 year under our belt of how to really work with that space and make it even better. And in terms of our equity, the fee waiver usage, in this year we served 141 households, 235 members of the community used our fee waiver, and the value was 175 plus thousand that was used by our community in our fee waivers program. I think if some of you have heard me say this is the year that is, we're in the last year of our current strategic plan, and we're also drafting the next strategic plan. So the timeline that we're working with is tonight, it kicks off the community input and community engagement of our strategic plan. So anything that you're giving to us, we're gonna be using that in order to draft the next strategic plan this year. So the timeline is that we're beginning now, and in March, we're gonna be engaging with our partners to really assess, how our partnerships are working, and to see if there are added collaborations or, ways that we can collaborate even more, or, change it up so that we can integrate that into the new strategic plan. In April through August, we'll find ways to really hear from the community through surveys, using some of all the anchors of our community events and concerts that we have an opportunity to engage directly with the community and find ways to get their input that way. In September, we'll start collecting all of those input and aggregating them and drafting the new strategic plan. October and December, we'll be reviewing that. And then in December and January, we'll be working with our board to sort of making any kind of final edits. And next January, at the next strategic plan session, we'll be adopting our new strategic plan. Very exciting. In new areas of programming that we're already working on right now that we want to share with our community is the RCC on Wheels. As I mentioned, we took delivery of that recently. And Maggie is working really hard with all across interdepartmental to integrate the RCC on Wheels and how we can take content using the vehicle to take it out into the neighborhoods, as well as finding new programs to integrate into that. Taking the convenience of taking it into the community that we want to serve, or we don't get to see them here in our building as much. I've instructed our youth and teen department to really lean into sensory programs. So they're going to be looking, we sort of piloted that at the MLK especially for youth, and we had a lot of success with that. So we're going to be looking to really emphasize sensory programs. We have already started conversation with the schools and wanting to really put our mark on working with aquatics to launch the Learn to Swim program in Reston Elementary Schools. And this one you're going to see in the next round of programs. The leisure and learning team is starting to, we already nailed down a lot of the contractual with a culinary series with a local executive chef that has worked at like really upscale, Michelin star establishments, and I think you're going to see a lot of exciting programs that are coming online, and I'm just happy and that we're so rich in resources and expertise within our community to attract that caliber of programs and instructors and people who has the expertise who wants to give back to the community. And I'm going to hand this over to my deputy director who has purview of the capital projects.
Good evening, everybody. See how close I have to get to hear myself talk. All right, so capital projects. I was just going to review kind of what we finished out during the course of FY26 and what we have looking forward to FY27. So in FY26, we did undertake the office renovations for both sites, Hunters Woods and Lake Anne. And we are still finishing out that project. It kind of got drawn out a little bit, but we can see the finish line. We're there, and everyone is very excited about it. So we're just about done, but having the new office furnishings completed and kind of taking it into the technology stage that we're all in, it's been nice to have the automated standing desks for a lot of people that really need it, to have the monitor placements on the movable arms. It seems like something so simple, but we really see how much it helps benefit the employees get work done efficiently and effectively. In addition to that, it was also being done at the same time as restroom renovations. So people were displaced from offices and bathrooms were limited. So it's been an exciting time, but those are completed, and I believe it had been about like 20 or 20 plus years since they had been done. So we are very excited about the new restrooms. If you haven't seen them, please use them. They're beautiful. I love them. We've heard great reviews. All right, and we are going to be going through the ERU replacement. So for the locker rooms, this is like the air conditioning. It conditions the air in the locker rooms, which is essential. If you've ever been in an auditorium, you want to ensure that the chloramines aren't getting to anybody's eyes and affecting you badly. So that was, I guess, slated to start this month, but weather is a thing right now. So it's getting pushed a little bit, so possibly next month, but that is in the works. In addition to that, we would be looking forward to the replacement of the main switch for Hunters Woods. At this time, there's kind of differing opinions in terms of lead times when things are going to be getting to us. So right now, our main concern is to take a look at how it's going to least affect the patrons' access to the center. So we may need to reschedule, but we'd be looking to do that in the FY27 timeframe. Additionally, I know it's not up there, but kind of looking forward more towards the end of August, beginning of September. Again, we don't want to affect camps because we know those are really big around here. So after camps are finished, and we'd be looking more towards end of August, beginning of September. Two big items that we're looking at is the replacement. So re-leveling and replacement of the locker room flooring. So we've noticed over the past few years puddling of water, which tends to occur if stuff's not leveled correctly. So re-leveling and then replacement of the flooring in the locker rooms. And then kind of like a nice little overhaul to the patio that you cannot see behind the curtains. So looking at new paver stones, new seating area, different types of planters, different types of lighting. So just a more inviting space. We want people to go out there and enjoy the area. So those two projects would be looking to the end of September or end of August, beginning of September. So check out the bathrooms. Those are good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brianne. Thank you, Brianne. Those are the major updates that we have for you. In the next few months, RCC will still, stay very engaged with housing community development on the Crescent redevelopment project. That is something that I think everybody in here knows that RCC has been very involved in. We're still looking to be included in the RFP for a 30,000 square foot warm shell. It's part of our strategic plan. The board is prepared and have, the reserve for if and when that occurs for us to be able to, take the facility expansion and provide the programs and alleviate some of the wait list that we're experiencing with arts education and fitness at Lake Ann. So those are the major updates. We're gonna move into community input. So at this time, I'd like to, Catherine, if you have anybody who signed in that have offered to speak, if you could call out their names.
So Laura Kowalski first and Peter Lusk.
Laura, if you could introduce yourself, provide your name, your address, or your organization name. We have 3 minutes for individuals and 5 minutes for organizations. Thank you.
Can I have the riser? So good evening. It's really nice to see some of your familiar faces. My name is Laura Kowalski, and I am the Recreation Services Director for Reston Association. We appreciate the opportunity to participate in the strategic planning process and grateful for your continued generosity with programs and with the collaborative spirit of both of our missions serving the Reston community. RA values our longstanding partnership with the community center. Over the past year, our collaboration has allowed us to support complementary programs, expand outreach, and create opportunities that strengthen that shared mission. One example of support through the Multicultural Festival, we were very proud to help with the volunteers through our Volunteer Reston program. It really shows and goes back to Reston's founding values of diversity and inclusivity. This April, we look to continue the tradition through One Hunter's Woods with a community cleanup and us participating and coordinating with the community for a cleanup day. And we hope that will continue for years to come, supporting the neighborhood. We have also made meaningful progress in aligning our water safety initiatives. Coordinating schedules for lifeguards have helped both of our organizations benefit by creating a pool of applicants, if you will. Is that good, Matt? Okay. Looking ahead, we would really welcome the opportunity to expand that. We recently had a community a committee, the Lake Equity Working Group, and they identified some areas, and we've had some team meetings, and so we would like to look to expand the collaboration a little bit more. This is for whether it's in a pool, on a lake, or surrounding the lake. With our big strength that we both have are water safety programs with aquatics, so pooling those resources would be a welcomed conversation. We also thank you for your generous support of Winterfest. Your contribution helped serve 11,000 people, over 11,000 people. And so really thinking about that, where we may have to charge a fee, your contribution helped people come to that event that maybe couldn't afford it if we were to charge a fee. So thank you very much for that. That's really the exact mission alignment that we appreciate and that we can do more of. We're committed to collaboratively working on additional programs, maybe the RCC on Wheels. We've got lots of spaces in the community for people where they gather, so maybe there's an opportunity for us to chat about that. So thank you again for your time and your collaboration. And I have the privilege of introducing our new acting CEO, Peter Lusk.
Thank you, Laura. Good evening, everyone. At the beginning, Mr. Bowie said to share all of our anxieties, and 2 weeks into being acting CEO, I will not share all of my anxieties, as there are many. It is a pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you so much for hearing from us for a few minutes. As Laura said, Our partnership is invaluable. Reston cannot be successful unless all of our entities work together towards one common goal of serving this wonderful community. So thank you all for having us. Like I said, I'm 2 weeks in, so I'm really looking forward to getting to know many of you more than I already do. And I'm sure we'll speak soon, but thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Peter, and good luck. Catherine?
All right. Lisa Watts.
Hello, everyone. For those of you, I'm a short one too. All right, who I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, I am Lisa Watts, and I am the newish executive director of the Reston Museum. And I really, really am so grateful for all the support, all the help that you guys have provided. And let me get into my technology real quickly. Laura was smart and used paper. All right. I want to thank RCC for the invitation to speak on behalf of the Reston Museum. Reston Community Center's contributions and annual giving to our organization are crucial to our existence. And I don't say that lightly. Actually being able to have a space, having a building, a place that we can call home, that people can walk into, because we could, in theory, be a historic trust, have our things kind of out in the ether and do what we do. But being on Lake Ann Plaza, the start of Reston, and actually having a presence there is not a small thing. It is important to our success, our ability to excite, educate, and influence our community. The story of Reston is an important one that too many people in our community, and certainly just outside of it, are unaware of. The amount of people who have walked into our doors unaware of where the RES and Reston comes from is too many for our liking. And as we look at the faces of excitement about learning about the modern history that makes up Reston, some things, especially like words like open community, planned community, even things like dark skies movement, are new news to some. There are many here who can inform and educate and contribute to this discussion. I'm making eye contact with everyone here. And being able to create exhibits, house archival materials, host educational programming, and celebrate with shared community events allows us to not only protect and remember Reston history, but also to create it and become an active participant in this movement. Because some of you may have heard me say this, and it will not be the last time that you will hear me say it. The Reston Museum is not a monument to the past, but a continuation of a movement. RCC support has allowed us to have not only our physical location, like I had said, but has allowed us to invest in software, interactive technology, and storage solutions. We've been able to invest in Helping Hands to care for our archives. We've been able to host community events like Celebrate Reston coming up here in April to further community pride and togetherness. Another event or program that we did on Lake Ann Plaza was our trivia night that we did at the Brew House, and that was so much fun that place was packed out. And it was just people sitting there drinking beer, having a great time together, and talking about Reston, its history, its architecture, everything, you name it. It was such a blast. Our February program coming up, where we'll be talking about Tephra, Public Art Reston, Reston Art Galleries and Studios. These are things that we can do to inform and provide opportunities to get people involved. We are actively building partnerships with Fairfax County Schools Central Office to create shared educational opportunities and community involvement. Your support has allowed us to pursue the art restoration to the outdoor pieces on Lake Ann Plaza, which is the birthplace of our new town. So we understand the importance of preserving it. With every walking tour, with every open house, with every discussion, we are able to continue the Reston story and its legacy. I am so grateful for the support and enthusiasm of Reston Community Center, and as we continue to plan for the future, I look forward to working together and saying, what's next? So thank you so much, really do appreciate it.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. Jared and Nicole.
More new leaders.
Good evening. I'm not the only Arlingtonian, Peter, I've been with the YMCA. My name is Eric Vanderpool. I'm the Vice President of Operations for the YMCA Reston, Fairfax, countywide. So I've been with the Y for, like I said, 27 years. So I'm ecstatic to be over here. This is probably one of the very few YMCAs that over my career have been at. So BB's welcoming me with open arms. I think our meeting was scheduled for a half an hour, and after about an hour and a half, I said, you know, BB, I gotta go. I have to go to another meeting. I look forward to a lot of great things, and I first wanted just to thank you all for all of your support, and really, you know, working with the YMCA. There's a lot of collaborations that have gone on where we have done volunteers with the multicultural, festival. There's been a couple health fairs that we've collaborated on. There's also been a few different programs and activities that have happened and occurred at the YMCA through the Reston Community Center. So, and BB came out and we just celebrated our 25 years anniversary at the Reston YMCA a couple months back, and BB was able to come out and support us, so we're very grateful for that. You know, sitting here, I have a lot of different ideas about different partnerships and collaborations. Over my 27 years, I'd like to think that we've built some really cool things and sustainable partnerships across the DMV area. So I'm looking forward to bringing all of that here. Just the one thing where BB and I were walking by the aquatic staff, and I got introduced to all the aquatic staff, and I asked BB, I said, you know, do we have anything around here that has, like, you know, different kind of advocacy committee groups, you know, the youth development or aquatics like group made up of other nonprofits that we could get together maybe once a month and share best practices and some training ideas. Like, you know, the land-based thing sounds amazing. You know, we do a lot of different things as well. So, you know, I'd love to talk to you guys about pedaling for Parkinson's. I'd love to talk to you about pickleball for Parkinson's. Those are just the last two different community programs that the YMCA started. We have our diabetes prevention. I mean, I could go on and on and on. So looking forward to another great year and continuing our great relationship. And again, appreciate all your time and your support. And thank you, BB.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, Vanessa Vaya.
Welcome.
Hi, thanks. I'm Vanessa Vayak, and I'm here from Cornerstones. I'm a community organizer with Opportunity Neighborhoods Reston, and I also work as an academic advisor. First, I just wanted to say thank you to you all of our neighborhood ambassadors and residents at our community connected sites, and all of our clients at Cornerstones are just now starting to learn about the Rest On membership card. And everyone's really excited. So we have a lot of excited people, and we're just so grateful to kind of take down another one of the barriers for getting folks in the door and into your programming. So thank you so much for that. And you've always been a really supportive partner. We love working with Latanja. She's always ready to jump in and give us ideas or help us figure out how to make something work. So thank you for that too. None of our neighborhood ambassadors could be here tonight, but they are always carrying forward to us what they hear from community members. And we also try and reach out to community members through surveys. And so last year we did a survey just on recreation, and I wanted to share a couple ideas that came through as trends from that. So accessibility is always at the forefront of our minds. A lot of the communities that we serve have a hard time with transportation and language barriers, making ease of registration more challenging than not. So one thing that we've talked about a lot is ways to simplify paperwork, which we're doing with the Reston membership card. But also we've heard from folks in the community just having more universal forms across organizations. A lot of families try and line up diversity in the programs that they put their children in, so they might have to fill out similar paperwork for RA, RCC, and YMCA, and that paperwork burden can feel like a lot, especially when it's not in your native language. So that's one thing that we heard from, and also simplifying forms for siblings, because some families have up to 5 kids, so they're doing all the same paperwork 5 times over for every organization that they're signing up for. our families are really interested in literacy. We've been trying to start a reading train initiative, which Latanja has graciously supported. And in doing that, we're trying to get folks to engage cross-generationally. So getting middle and high school kids to engage with 0 to 5-year-olds reading to them. And we want to see more opportunities like this because we want to get youth more involved with people that are outside of their own age, get them off of their technology and their screens. And overall, there's just a want for creative, and we don't know the answer to this, but how can we build relationships across our differences? How can we not just get people at an event together, but get people talking to each other? And then finally, a couple more. Tutoring is another really big one that families talk to us about all the time. Just how do I find tutoring that is affordable that we can get to? So I know that with the, I'm blanking on the name of the van.
RCC on Wheels.
Yes, RCC on Wheels, thank you. So just more programming like that. We've heard really good things about it so far, but I don't know, could there be tutors on wheels? It would be awesome. And then finally, kind of back into the early childhood type thing, just more programs for the younger kiddos too. We know that it's really important to get those middle and high school kids engaged too, but we hear from families a lot that not just the literacy events, but also like summer programs for younger kiddos too. I know last year we saw RA start some more summer camp programs for 4 and 5-year-olds, and there's a lot of families that are interested in more opportunities like that. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, and thanks for listening.
Those are all great ideas. Thank you so much.
Anybody else have?
Do we have any other community members or organizations that would like to speak? Please come up.
Another interim or newbie. Hi, I'm Courtney Bulger, and I'm the interim CEO for the Reston Chamber of Commerce. And I'm so excited to be here tonight. I raised my kids just 2 miles down the road, but I guess it wasn't officially Reston. So, but both kids went to South Lakes High School, and this has been our home for a very, very long time. I'm excited to have joined the chamber and to see, I already knew the Reston community, but to be a part of it as active as I am now, it is exactly what Robert Simon wanted, and that is the live, work, and play. And so to be part of the business community, having the partnership with the Reston Community Center, having the partnership with Reston Association and the YMCA, just shows how unique and special this community really is. BB talked about Ethics Day. For those of you who aren't familiar, and I'm sure everyone is, we're 34 years of doing Ethics Day with South Lakes High School. It's a pretty phenomenal long-term relationship and partnership that I'm not sure there's a lot of schools in Fairfax County that have that. I ran that program for 10 years, but even across the country. So I appreciate the ongoing support for Ethics Day. And we also have another event coming up that we're partnering with Reston Community Center, and that's going to be a wellness fair in March for the community. So as I sit here, I'm brainstorming ways that the business community could support the local community as well, and how could we do more together. So I'm just really excited to be part of this partnership and to be here this evening, and thank you so much for your continued support of the business community.
Thank you, Courtney. Anybody else who would like to speak? Yes, please.
So I guess I will be the first individual family that is coming up to speak versus a group that you guys collaborate and partner with. Just wanted to say thank you for everything that RCC has brought to my family and my neighborhood. When I lived just outside of Reston years ago, you just don't really realize how special Reston is until you end up in a Reston address. And then you start getting booklets and things in the mail and learning about how all of these organizations have gotten up even before me and you support the community and make us special. And we don't take that for granted as Reston residents. But I also, as you look forward to your strategic plan, as much as I want to continue to support as a family, RCC and the Lake Ann building and this building and the programs and the staff that put on those programs and the systems behind the staff that we need to keep investing in. As you look towards your strategic plan, I would just ask you to also think about the communities out there and the people that live in the houses that are, paying into Special Tax District number 5. We find that it's a privilege to pay into it, but we also are starting to feel that we're strapped by the amount of taxes that we're seeing. And part of that, unfortunately, is the funding that comes through RCC, and how special we see RCC. We also feel those dollars hitting our households. And I would just ask that you think about it as some of the ideas I heard tonight are wonderful, but I'm not sure that this is the time in Reston to take on huge ambitious programs. And things like, I had heard from Crescent Apartments, a presentation there that the board was continuing to think about the Lake Ann site and whether we needed to expand or make that Lake Ann site bigger or whether to move it. And I would just ask that you really consider the dollars that it will cost the community to go into that. As much as we would love to expand services, I'm just not sure that the families of Reston, with the continuing price increases, can take something on like that in the short term. So I'd ask you to think about that. I'd also ask you to think about the community partnerships that we have, right? Each of the organizations play a wonderful part within the community. But we also have, newcomers into the scene, especially with the developers along the toll road. And I'd like to see RCC partner with them and bring great community events, but also bring them to the table to make those contributions to the community that the citizens are making, that the organizations that have been living and breathing within Reston have been making for many, many years. So thank you again for everything that you do. My daughter loves coming here. I can barely get her out of the building. When she does get into the building, we absolutely love it. Certainly took advantage of the programs when she was littler at Lake Ann and really appreciated those. But there is a balance that we all have to play in our lives, and I would ask you to think about that as you continue on your strategic planning process. Thank you.
Excuse me, can you share your name and address, please?
Sure, it's Jennifer Juszczyk, and it's 2010 Upper Lake Drive. And I also want to make clear, because I know some of you know my face and have seen me on many meetings at Reston Association, that this is a member comment as an individual, as a family, and not having anything to do with Reston Association or the service I have on that board. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Anybody else going once, twice, 3 times? Well, thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time out. I know everybody's a little bleary. I know I am from Super Bowl, staying up late. But thank you for spending time with us, and thank you for building community with us. We really appreciate you. Have a good night.